on our teams. And this has been something that we have been longing to do. It's a pretty neat setup. Just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of how things are set up in the back end for teams and what's available to you. There's a lot of good stuff that's now knitted together and even more to come. I won't belabor the point. I'm going to hand off right now to our digital administrator, Kristen Fredericks. Kristen handles everything that shows up on your screens, and she knows this back and front. So, Kristen, all yours.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Ralston. All right, today we're going to actually give you a sneak peek behind and under the hood, I should say, behind the scenes on some of our team controls, some of the things that you guys have never seen before, just so that you can understand what the system looks like and how it works. And then we're going to also show you how you can access your team dashboard correctly, and then some of the new options from BHHS Corporate when it comes to teams. So that's kind of our agenda today. I'm going to go ahead and ask Haley if she'll go ahead and mute everybody just so we get a nice clean recording on this. And then if you have any questions today, do feel free to just raise your hand. We can always pause and take questions as we go. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started here. Drop you guys down there. All right. And I am, just for my lovely room helpers today, I am on one screen, not two. So if somebody does raise their hand, do let me know because I will not be able to see it on the second screen for me. All right. I do want to start out today with kind of how our teams are set up and how we work with you guys in the background to do your team setups. The nice thing about our team setups with our company is that they are very, very flexible. So it's not an all-in situation. We can actually make things a hybrid about who can look at things and who can access things. We can make sure that people can maintain their own book of business if they need to. It all depends on the different kinds of setups because every team works a little bit differently, and that goes for small teams all the way up to large teams. I'm going to start today with how our team controls look on our end. So this is something that when a team comes on board or you've met with us for the first time and you're ready to set up your team setup in RWT Connect, we're actually going to go through all of these different settings with you. This is the stuff that's on our administrative side that you guys have never seen before, but I do want you to see it so that you can understand what it looks like and what we're trying to do for the team setup. So do remember, this is rwtconnect.com. So this is our local intranet. So these are all the tools that are tied to us locally, and that also includes your CRM that comes through RWT Connect and also your team dashboard and team website if you choose to do a team website on here as well. So let me go to my administrator dashboard, which you guys don't get to see very often. And you guys can take a look at what we have available for you on the team side. So what happens is when a team comes to us and we go through your initial setup and we talk to the team and we figure out what you guys want for lead routing and what you guys want to do for a team website and what everything looks like, we'll actually go ahead and create a team account. It's really similar to the same user profile you have on RWT Connect. It's just for your team. I'm going to scroll down here and you can see we have our team lists in here. So we go ahead and create you a profile for your team. I'm going to have a test team in here we're going to be looking at today. But we have the ability to have what we call team controls. And this is how we tell the system what to do with all of your different team members and who has access to what. So I've set up a test account here just so you guys can see what this looks like. So right now, this is my team for the BHHS testing team. You can see that we do have a team website ready to go. We have Ralston on here, who is our team leader. And here I am as a team member. And here's Samantha, who's also on our team as a team member as well. So we have two different roles in the system when we're setting up teams on the RWT Connect side. We have the team leader. That team leader can access everything else regarding the team. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here real quick so you can see what that looks like. Let me blow this up just a little bit here. Hopefully that's a little bit easier for you guys to see. It's a little light on this end, but hopefully you guys will be all right. So we have Ralston, who is assigned as our team leader. He has access to the team. He has access to his own profile, he has access to my profile, and he has access to Sam's profile, and he can move in between those if he needs to as the team leader. I was assigned as a team member. So maybe I'm a buyer's agent on Ralston's team. And I have access to the team website and the team CRM because that's how we're going to send out our emails on our team. But I don't have access to log in as Ralston in RWT Connect, and I don't have access to log in as Sam. So maybe Ralston maintains his own book of business out of his own CRM, or maybe he's got a sphere list running out of there. And I don't have access to that. And I don't have access to Samantha's either. Maybe she's another buyer's agent with her own book of business. This is a good example here. Here we have Samantha, and she has access to, of course, her own. That's by default, but she also has access to mine, and I've been able to choose that. So I can put a little check mark that says she has access to mine. And then she also has access to Ralston. She also has access to the team. Notice this is not by default. We were able to go ahead and choose this because she was labeled as a team member. So when a team comes on board, this is one of the things that we talk about. We say, how are you going to use your team website? Are you going to use the team website? Are you going to use the CRM out of the team profile, or are you guys going to maintain all of your own? Do you have an assistant that might need to log in not only as the team, but also other members of the team to be able to help you out? This is kind of a good example here with this control account access to see how that might work. So Ralston, as the team leader, has access to everything. Maybe I'm an agent on the team. I only have access to the team account and, of course, my own by default. Maybe Samantha is our team admin. Maybe she's the person who does all of our transactions and she's sending out all the e-cards and making all the flyers. And so she can log in as everybody because she might need to make stuff on behalf of the team, or maybe she needs to contact stuff out of each of the individual profiles. That's why I wanted to tell you that our system is not kind of an all or nothing. This can be a hybrid. I have some teams in here who everybody has access to everything else because they all work together. We have some teams in here where only the team lead can access everybody else on the team. And only the team leader and only maybe their admin assistant can access the actual team CRM. Everybody else is working independently. On some of our larger teams, we'll often see a hybrid. So the team leader, again, has access to everything. Maybe a couple of people have access to the team CRM. Everybody else just has access to their own stuff. So I wanted to mention this just because this is how we access things, and this is how you can kind of move in and about different profiles, but also to show you that there is some flexibility here. So it's not, again, not an all or nothing. We really just kind of sit down with each team to be able to choose who has access to what on the team. As we scroll down here, this is the other portion of this that we often see is what do we do with the roster and the leads? So in this case, you can see this is a good one right here. I am on this team, and right now my leads roll up to Ralston. So anything that I might bring in that comes in maybe on my own website or something like that is rolling up to Ralston to use as the team lead. And again, this is not an all or nothing system. This is a hybrid. We have a number of teams where all of the individual people, any contact information, contact me, any leads that come in, roll right up into the team website, and everything is worked out of the team dashboard. So we have those options. We have some teams that are set up where maybe one person, maybe one or two people roll up to the team website, maybe the team leader and maybe their buyer's agents roll up to the team website, and everybody else can work their own leads if they want to. They don't roll up. Sometimes we have teams where only the admin rolls up because they don't normally receive anything anyway, and everybody else is just working their own book of business and their leads come into their own individual profiles. Same with the roster. So we can actually determine who shows up on your team roster, on your team website. Sometimes you'll have somebody on your roster. This is often like a virtual assistant who may need access to something like this, but they're not necessarily on your public team. I don't know any other way to put that. We can actually say that we don't want them to show up on automatically on your agent roster on your website. Most of the time, obviously, we just leave it so that everybody shows up, but we see that occasionally where we have maybe an administrative assistant, a virtual assistant, or somebody who, maybe a transaction coordinator, for example, a third-party transaction coordinator who doesn't necessarily need to show up on your active roster on your team website. So we do have those options as well. Did anybody have any questions about the team controls here before I move on and show you kind of how to access a team in the system? Good to go. All
Yeah,
right.
no questions.
Thanks. All right, let's take a look at how we can access that team dashboard. So I am going to go back to my dashboard because that's what we log in as when we log in the first time. So when we log into rwtconnect.com, we're always logging in as an individual. So for example, right here, I am logged in as me right now. And this is my CRM. These are my buttons. If I were to click on anything, it would log me in as an individual to all of our different tools. It's really important to know that our tools that we have connected to us work on the individual level. So for example, if I wanted to go ahead and log into something like Chalk Digital, for example, if I logged in here, it would log me in as an individual, and then I could move to my team settings in here. We'll look at that in a little bit later. But if I were to click on Chalk Digital from my team dashboard, it wouldn't know what to do with it because everything is based on an individual login. That's an important thing to know as you're kind of moving throughout the system, that if you need to click on any of our third-party tools, you need to do it as an individual. You'll be able to see who you're working as up here in the upper right-hand corner. So I'm working as myself. Our team options in some of our tools. Some of our tools have them, some of them don't. You would be able to move into that team setting after that. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. If you have access to a team dashboard, so we've set up that team profile, we've gone through your team controls, you're going to have an extra button under the dashboard section. So up here in the upper left-hand corner, here's that hamburger menu. If I click on that and I click on home, you're going to see the different dashboard options that we have here. If you have a team setup and a team dashboard in RWT Connect, you'll have this team dashboard right here on the left-hand side. And I'm logged in as an admin, so let me see if I did that right. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I'm actually going to log in as one of our actual teams here so that you can kind of see how this works because it's going to want to keep logging me in as an admin. So hold on 1 second for me. I'm logged in as, okay, logged in as one of our teams, so we can go ahead and move through here and it will take my administrator access off here. So again, we're going to click on that hamburger menu under the dashboard, click on home, and there's that team dashboard. And this is just an interstitial window. So this just is kind of a gateway to your team. From here, you can do lots of different things. So in this particular case, this agent can actually log in as their team website. They can also move in and about the other team members on here because that's how the team controls are set up. So if this particular agent did not have access to, let's just say, these two agents here, these would just be grayed out. They wouldn't be able to access it. They wouldn't be able to click on it at all. In this case, this particular agent happens to be a team leader. Remember, I said the team leader has access to everything. So they would be able to go ahead and access either the team website, which is right here, which will access the team dashboard, or they can move in and amongst their other team members and even they can go back to themselves. One of the ways that you can distinguish between whether you're on that team dashboard where you have to click off into something else is if all the buttons on the leaderboard, for example, are grayed out, so they're not clickable. Normally they're very clickable. It means that you're just on that window, that gateway, that means that you need to move into your team dashboard and into your team CRM. So in this case, I have one more click to do. I've moved to the team dashboard, and then I can log into, again, that team website, that team account, because remember we said that we set up that team just like a regular profile in our system. Once I click on that team, it's going to log me in as the team. And I can switch to the My Dashboard section here and log in as the team. And notice that everything up there is now clickable. So we have those blue links up there. This goes back to make sure that when you are working in some of our third-party tools, you'll want to work as an individual. So for example, if I were to be logged in as the team, which is what I am up here, and I wanted to go ahead and click something like Paradigm, for example, it wouldn't know what to do with that information because I'm working as my team. I'm not working as my individual, and that particular connection is based on an individual. So it actually gave me a warning that says it doesn't know what to do with my account. Okay. From this team dashboard, you can actually use this as a team CRM if you wanted to. You can actually create your own team profile and update your information. You can have a team signature that goes out on those emails that come out of that CRM. If you needed to access the team website for whatever reason, you could go up to that hamburger menu on the left-hand side, and you could go to Site Builder and Site Editor or Interior Pages. I can go ahead and click one of those for you. And you can see that we have that team website here that we can work as if we have that team set up. One of the other things I want you to see on the team section here is we do have a special setting that normally you guys don't work with under our domain manager. That allows us to set our domain so that our individual profiles for agents can also roll up to the team domain. So if you plan on using one website, or if some of your team members plan on using just the team website, they don't have an individual one, we can actually say anything that you send out from that particular profile, or if they click on you in the rwtown.com roster, for example, you'll go directly to the team site. You won't have to go to an individual site and then to a team site as well. And again, just moving in and around here, if I can go through, I can go back to my dashboard. Now remember, the my dashboard in this case is going to be for the team because I'm still working as the team profile up here in the upper right hand corner, and you'll be able to just double check that when you're working through things. If you need to go back to your own profile, you'll actually have something that says switch account that will allow you to go back to your own. So your name will be right here if you needed to. You can also go back to your team dashboard if you needed to. And again, remember, that's just that gateway. That's that gateway dashboard that will allow you to log in as someone else. So you could always go back to yourself here. So if I wanted to log back in as Stephanie in this case, I could just click her and it would go back. So you have kind of two options here. You can either go back to the team dashboard, or you can go ahead and click on the team name up in the upper right-hand corner and switch back to your own account. Did anybody have any questions on the kind of the team dashboard and kind of how you move within the system?
Doesn't look like it. Quiet crowd.
Okay, we'll keep going then.
I don't even know if it's here or if it's within the dashboard to go over to do other services, like a new listing. Is that
So
separate?
it depends on how the team is set up, but to get to the listing manager, you could either do it out of your own profile if you were the primary agent.
Okay.
If you were not the primary agent, but you still wanted to work with the listings, you would go to the team profile and log in as the team. And then all of the listings from the team would be available up in the listing manager. So regardless of who the primary agent is, if you have, 5 different primary listing agents in your team, those listings would be available up in that team listing manager because those people are assigned to your team.
And it feeds behind the scenes in the web page to show everyone's activities as far as listings, right?
It does. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a great question. Any other questions on kind of how that team dashboard works? So the big thing we noticed was that most people didn't realize that the team dashboard the very first time was a gateway. And when we started to explain that it was a gateway to move into the team profile, things made a lot more sense as far as tools are concerned. So we wanted to make sure that you guys got to see that today.
Looks like we have no more hands.
Awesome. All right, let's keep going then. I'm actually going to log back in as myself here because we're going to give you a chance to look under the hood one more time before we move into some team settings. Again, a nice sneak peek at things you guys don't normally get to see. And I'm going to log into BHHS Resource. So remember, BHHS Resource Center is the global intranet for BHHS. They're doing a great job of trying to get all of the different vendors and tools that they have to be team compatible. They just released a couple of new team profile options for us in the last couple of months, which is another reason why we're having some of this training so that you guys can kind of see how that works in the system. But first, I'm going to show you kind of the same thing that's available to you guys for the BHHS team profile for marketing. So when we meet with you guys as a team and we're setting up the team, excuse me one second. So we're setting up your team, we're setting up your team controls. We'll go through the RWT Connect side, but then we'll also go into BHHS Resource and talk about how we want to set the team up in BHHS Resource in the Resource Center as well. So I'm going to go to actually roster management here. And we have agent teams in here. And you'll be able to see what these team profiles look like on our side as well when we create these. Let me grab a team here real quick. So on our team rosters that we have available in here as well, we can create a team. And what this does is it essentially activates those same type of tools that we just had in RWT Connect that just says, okay, we're going to take all of the team member stuff and we're going to let the other team members have access to it. So they have a little bit different way of talking about the team members and team leaders and things like that in the system. So just remember that some of our naming conventions between the two profiles are a little bit different. This is a completely different system. But when we set up the team profiles on BHHS on the resource side, we're not only letting them know what your team name is and what office you're assigned to, we're going to be able to give it those phone numbers and email addresses that are public facing. So just in case somebody needs to contact you. We're also going to be able to assign team members to this. And this, again, works the same way as the team dashboard on RWT Connect. It's basically going to say that these people have access to this stuff and these people have access to this stuff. And you have all of your stuff is combined in other tools, which you'll see. So in this example, we have Adrian, who is the team admin, and we have Sherry and Dana, who are team members on this particular team. And we can, of course, add other members as we need to. One of the interesting things that you'll see, because you do have access to be able to update a team profile if you have the right roles in the system, is that we have another role in here called the team leader. We have to, in our system, assign someone as either the team admin or the team leader, and their roles and what they can do are exactly the same. But we must have a team admin. So in this case, Adrian, in this particular case on this team, is most definitely the team leader. But we don't have somebody else who is a team admin who would have those other controls where they could change the profile and update information on behalf of the team. So we have her labeled as a team admin. It doesn't mean that she's not the team leader. It just means that we have to have somebody who's assigned that can actually make the updates to this profile. In this case, the other two people who are only team members in here can't make changes to the team because they're not a leader or an admin. So when we're building these teams, and the question comes up fairly often is, well, I'm not my administrative assistant. How come I'm the team admin? It's just the way they name it. And team admin literally means the person who's going to administer the team, not necessarily an administrative assistant. This is, again, not an all or nothing system. So we can have more than one team leader. We can have somebody assigned as a team leader and another person assigned as a team admin. So if we have somebody who has permission to do things on behalf of the team, we can certainly give them the team admin role. And then other times we just have team members. And what that means is that the team leader and the team account can access their things like their listings or to make flyers or to update their Chalk Digital, which we'll show you in a second. But they can't necessarily make it on behalf of the team or other people on the team. So when you see those team profiles, if it's the first time you've ever logged in and looked at your team profile, if you see team admin, don't be afraid. It just means that I didn't have another option for a team leader. So therefore you got the team admin role, which is, again, just the same functionality as a team leader, just a slightly different way to say it. Another couple of interesting things that happen in here is it does roll in certifications from your whole team, which is great. So that all shows up on the team roster on the BHHS global site as well. And we have a couple of other options here, including we can do an agent team photo, and we can change a couple of other things on the BHHS public side for you that are all based on just the individual team. If you log in and you have the team admin or the team leader role and you have access to change some of the information on your team profile, if anything is grayed out, it means that it needs to be done at the roster manager level, which means you'll have to email websupport@rwtown.com. If you email us with the change that needs to be made or the information that needs to be added, we'll certainly add it to your profile. Most of the items that are grayed out means that they affect something else or it needs to be approved by someone. So we just go ahead and do that on our end. So remember, that's websupport@rwtown.com. Give me a second to swap back over to an actual team, and I will show you the two things that BHHS has opened for access to teams and how they work. So give me 1 second to stop presenting here, and we will log in as a team. Thanks for your patience while we switch accounts.
And Matt Herrick, you have a question?
Yes, y'all might have said this. I logged in right at 1. What is there since it's being recorded, when is it going to be ready, and where can we find this recording? So
If
we can go step.
we trust we'll have a clean recording at the end of this, and when we do, we will load this onto the coaching and training section in RWT Connect. That is on the left side of buttons there. You'll be able to go there and click into the YouTube channel for the training sessions, and you will be able to find it there. Give the team about 2 or 3 days to get that loaded up.
So Ralston, while you're showing that screen, what's the difference between company training videos and training YouTube channel?
Kristen, if I'm correct, they're the same, aren't they?
They are the same. So the training YouTube channel is literally just our YouTube channel,
Right.
but we have the ability to search in RWT Connect. It's not going to search against the YouTube channel, so we also load them into company training videos. So anytime you want to search on a particular topic and find a video, you'll be able to do that with the search bar if they're loaded here as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. All right.
All right.
Good to go?
Kristen? Yep, you're good to go.
All right. So I've logged back in as one of our individual team members, and I want to show you the two big updates that we've had on the team side from BHHS. And again, we're in the resource center, so this is the global side. Every agent in BHHS as a global network has access to this. So the two tools that are the most important that have team access right now are Marketing Resource and Chalk Digital. So let's take a look at Marketing Resource first. So the first time you log into Marketing Resource, you're going to see that your name is in the upper right-hand corner up here. Once we've made that marketing or that agent team profile for marketing in the roster manager, you'll have something new. And that is a drop down, if you click on your name, that allows you to move in between the other team members and your own team profile. So for example, if you wanted to send out e-cards out of Marketing Resource that were completely branded to the team instead of an individual, you now actually have a team profile that you can do that with. So remember I said that this was not an all or nothing system. So this particular agent here is considered a team leader or a team admin. So they have access to all the other team members. If this person was only a team member, they would not have access to be able to log in as the other members individually. They would only have access to log in as the team in this case. But this person has access to everything. So if you are set up on that team side, you can click this and you can go through and you can either send something out on behalf of another agent on your team, or you can access the team profile that will have the team marketing on it and all the branding on there as well. And you can tell the difference in that when you see these little things called, this one is T458. That means Team 458 profile in the system. Everybody else has these kind of long numbers that are their individual user profile numbers on here. So it was a big deal to have this big upgrade done. The team profile works the same way as an individual profile. You can actually log in to your profile on here, and you will be able to update all sorts of information on here. So if you wanted to put maybe your team logo up here, or you wanted to put a team photo, you can certainly do that. You can also go ahead and change some of the titles or emails and things like that in here. You can also go ahead and connect your social media up to your team business profiles in here if you wanted to go ahead and share some of the social media pieces out of here as well. So it's kind of a great addition for everyone, especially for those of you who were looking to maybe put team logos on some of your branding that went out. So just remember, all you have to do is go ahead and click over to that team, log in as the team there. Remember, up in the upper right hand corner, it's going to let you know who you're working as. So in this case, if I went to go send something out, I'd be sending it out as the team, not as an individual. And if I go to my team profile here, I can certainly go ahead and see, there we go. We have a nice little team photo here of 2 people, and we have some different branding information that would be more based on the team than it would be an individual on here as well. So that's marketing resource. Let's take a look at Chalk Digital. That's the other big tool they just updated for Teams. I'm going to go ahead and click the Chalk Digital icon here. Let's give that a second to load. This is the initial page to Chalk Digital. Most of the time we're looking at the automated listing program in here. And if I click Get Started on the automated listing program, this is that free 7-day digital ad that goes out. What you're going to see is all of the campaigns for an individual the first time you log in. So these are all the old campaigns, any new campaigns that are here. This is brand new to the system. If you click the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner here, so here's those 3 lines in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see something new. Notice it says the team profile. This allows you to start running digital ads based on a team profile, not as an individual. So for example, this is an individual agent. If I wanted to start sending stuff out as the team and I wanted to brand it to the team and have all the team branding on it, I could certainly start running things as the team. The other nice thing about the team profile is once I switch into it, is that it will also bring up all the other listing agents in that team. So if you're the primary listing agent, and you have multiple primary listing agents on your team listings dashboard, in this case, this team only has 1 primary listing agent, but it would show all the different team members and all their different ads. So this comes in handy. Remember I said that team admin role would come in handy for this, that the team leader and the team admin would have access to be able to make changes to this. So if you have somebody on your team who you want to log in and be able to access all the different team members' profiles and ads and things like that to make those fine-tune adjustments before it starts running, you may want to go ahead and allow them to have that team admin access so they can access this team profile on here and make those changes on behalf of other people in here. So again, if you have multiple primary listing agents on a team, all of those would be in this team listings section here as well. If you click, once you're in the team profile and you've clicked teams the first time, you're going to notice a couple of new things. You're going to notice that it's changed. So you actually have team offices. We have some teams where the teams are in different offices where they may have to go back and forth between different addresses to be able to send stuff out. We do have team agents where you can go in and you can emulate, again, the different members of your team. We do have team campaigns. So if you wanted to run a listing ad or a branding ad on behalf of the team and you wanted to have the team branding on it from your team profile, you could certainly do that. You can go back to your team dashboard, and of course you have your team listings here as well. So you can do everything that you're able to do as an individual in Chalk. You're now able to do it just as a team. So for example, the team campaigns, if I were to go here, you would see all the different campaigns that we're running. This team doesn't happen to have any team campaigns. They're running everything as an individual right now. But if I were to have maybe an extended listing campaign or a branding campaign against my CRM, or maybe I had some video ads running and things like that, and they were on behalf of the team, not an individual, using the information from the team profile, they would be found here.
Kristen,
Yes.
I have a question from Kelly Hollowell.
Sure.
So as you move states and licensing, does that get, Is that where the team office? I don't know how that works. Bill's licensed in North Carolina and does work down there. I am not.
So the team offices is kind of weird. I have a couple of teams in the system where they have, for example, two team members in Great Bridge is a good one to use. They have two team members in Cedar Road, and they have two team members that sit at Cedar Lakes instead. So they're assigned to two different offices in the system. So if I never needed to move, if you needed to move between those two offices for whatever reason, they would be in there. It's hardly ever used. Most of the time we're going for either running something as a team agent or running something from a team campaign instead.
So what does that do when one person's licensed elsewhere and the other's not? Karen, that might be more for you. I don't know.
It doesn't do anything as far as licensing and disclosures are concerned. You would just have to, if you are running ads as the team, and your where you're running requires any kind of additional disclosure, like North Carolina, you would just have to make sure that that was in your ad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've done that in some profiles, Kelly, by just putting literally Bill Hollowell, licensed in North Carolina, and his license number. We could do Bill licensed in Virginia and North Carolina and put his North Carolina number. And then Kelly with just your Virginia, licensed in Virginia. And I think you'd have the same issue, Frank, you'd have the same issue, and a few others here. So just make sure your profiles are up to date with your license information.
They give us a couple of different lines on the ads that go out, and you don't have to use those lines specifically for what they're asking you to do. So sometimes there's an extra, if you're running an ad, like there's an extra line that might say tagline or something like that. It's a great place to put an extra disclosure if we need it. You can put anything you want there. We have agent teams that run two different email addresses on their ads and things like that. And they publish them in different lines. So, yep. All right. If you're working as the team and you need to go back to your individual profile, it's really easy. It's back under that same menu in the upper right-hand corner, and you're just going to go back to your individual profile, and it's going to take you right back to all of your individual listings and individual campaigns. So there we go. I'm back logged in as this particular agent, and I would have to click on team profile again to go back to the team campaigns and the team information. What we're seeing coming up in the future is that they're building teams into as many tools as possible. These are the two most recent ones that were released and kind of the important ones because we use them all the time. So we wanted to show those to you today. As we have more updates and they bring more tools on board with those team settings, you'll most likely receive maybe an update from web support or marketing that says, hey, we have a new team option, or you may receive a direct communication from us that says, hey, we need to go over some of these new team options for you, and we need to kind of get a team set up going. If you have a team right now, and you do not have that team dashboard, it just means that we haven't had a chance to talk to you yet about how to set that up. So you can always contact us, websupport@rwtown.com. We'll set an appointment in a meeting to kind of go over your team controls. We'll go over your different profiles and make sure that we have everything flowing the right way. The reason we don't automatically make it, as you can see, is that it does affect some of the rosters, and it does affect some of the lead flow, and it does affect how you appear on some of our stuff. We certainly would not want to make those assumptions without talking to a team first. If you already have a team profile and a team dashboard, it means that we've had a chance to talk to you and we've been able to set all that up as well. When you bring a new team member on board, hopefully you're letting your office know so that they send in the official paperwork for a new hire, even if it's just an admin. That way we can go ahead and assign them to your team, and then we'll probably just give you a quick call to ask you how much access this person should have and what they should have access to if we're just adding somebody to a team. So it is part of our onboarding protocols when you're bringing on a new team member, either an agent or an admin. As long as we go through all the proper channels, we get notified. And that way we can give you that quick call to just ask how you want them set up in your team control system as well. Did anybody have any questions about the team setups, either in BHHS in the Global Resource Center or on RWT Connect?
Looks like you're good to go.
Awesome. Hopefully you guys, if you don't have a team dashboard, reach out to us and we'll be happy to make that appointment. It doesn't take but about a half an hour or so just to kind of go through all the settings. Otherwise, hopefully you guys go through and use your new team controls and team marketing options. Can't wait to see some more stuff from some of our teams. Thank you.